Oh man. In Hearthstone last night on stream, I made it to within 1 win of the next plateau at Diamond 5.
Ooh.
I'm at Diamond 7 again.
Aw.
The eternal struggle.
There's a new like hyper aggressive demon hunter
Mm-hmm.
who killed me on something like turn 5, and I'm just blinking going, well, that was fun.
Mm-hmm.
And if you run into a quest druid, watch yourself, because it might be a combo Malagos up and kill you out of nowhere quest druid.
Gotta love those.
Yeah, I found that out the hard way. I was like, oh.
Is there an easy way?
Yeah, watching someone else do it is the easy way.
Okay, there's that. I didn't think about that.
I was the one experiencing it, so no, that was awful. Let's see, what else? Oh, I started watching all of George Carlin's stand-up specials in order. Because they're all on Amazon Prime.
Neat.
And I forgot how goofy he could be in his earlier years. Like, he didn't get real political until like his 4th or 5th one.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm like, something's missing. And then I watched What Am I Doing in New Jersey today, which is his 5th or 6th one, actually. And he started going off on the criminals in the Reagan administration. And I'm like, oh, that's what was missing. Right. So, yeah, that's been fun. I started... Oh my God. So, you guys remember I was rewatching The X-Files?
Yes.
Yes.
Like, I don't know, ever ago?
Yes.
And, like, I watched the first few seasons, and then I watched the first movie, and then I watched the next few seasons. Well, I watched the rest of it up until the original end. And I was going to watch the second movie before I watched all the new seasons, because, you know, that happened in between them. And it wasn't streaming anywhere. And so I just didn't, and I stopped. And I happened to be poking around on Hulu a few days ago and found the second X-Files movie. And I went,
There was
Wow.
a second one?
what? Yeah.
Oh, okay. I don't know if I knew that. Maybe I did.
Excuse me. It's called I Want to Believe. Hey, Magnus, thank you for the bits. What is that? 10 bits? That is 10 bits.
It's like 10.
But yeah, it had Billy Connolly as a convicted pedophile who is also a psychic, and like the plot itself is kind of whatever.
I mean, you had me at convicted pedophile that's a psychic, but you know,
Yeah,
and by which I mean,
but anyway, but yeah, like the plot itself is kind of whatever, but the actual like character interactions between a post FBI Mulder and Scully was really good. I think I was disappointed when I saw it, because I saw it in theaters way back with I think it was with Lex and her parents, God help me, which I think is why I didn't really like it, because I had to see it with Lex and her parents. Lex's parents were not good to go to a movie theater and see a movie with, is all I'm going to say.
Oh,
Wait,
yeah.
X-Files fan?
Don't go in there.
Yeah. No, it's just, no, I'm not even, I don't remember the details of why it was bad, but I have enough memories of spending time with Lex's parents that I could make some educated guesses as to why it was bad. But, anyway, yeah, the character interactions between the post-FBI Mulder and Scully were really, really good. And it made me just itch to keep watching the series. And then I've watched the first 2 episodes of the news, because it came back for 2 seasons a couple years ago. And
Has it been a couple of years?
I think so, yeah.
Uh,
But like the first episode was just a kick in the balls. It's like, hey, you remember all that stuff from the entire series? Yeah. Well, it's gone. It was a lie. And I went,
Wow. 'Cause. <laughs> 'Cause. 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 '
And then the second episode, they're FBI agents again. And I'm like, I feel like I have missed something. So I'm really excited because I think the first of the new seasons is only like 6 or 8 episodes, and then the next one was, I think, 10. So it's not like there's a lot left.
Mm-hmm.
But it's like, hey, you remember that character? I don't want to give too much away, but remember that character that we killed once? Yeah. And then we brought him back? And I went, yeah. And we killed him again? It's like, yeah. Well, they're back again. And I went, oh. All right.
Does it feel kind of like Star Wars, the Rise of Skywalker is like, why is Palpatine back?
Because he's awesome.
Because J.J. Abrams didn't bother to do something good. My opinion on Rise of Skywalker has dropped significantly since I watched Last Jedi again.
And see, I'm still going off of the initial experience, going off of seeing it in the theater. So,
I mean, I am too. I haven't watched it again yet, and I don't think I'm gonna.
just keep it that way, yeah.
Yeah. Like it wasn't a bad Star Wars movie, but it wasn't a good Star Wars. It was a fine Star Wars. I think it was Movie Bob who was like, it's fine. And
It's
the
better
first time I
than-
saw that, I was like, screw you, Bob. And then I watched Last Jedi again, and I'm like, oh, Bob was right.
It's not the best one, but it's definitely not at the bottom either.
No, not at all.
And I'm
Yeah.
okay. If one
For
more
me-
person complains about, oh, Jedi ghosts can interact with physical objects now, I'm like, have you seen Return of the Jedi? Because guess what? Obi-Wan didn't just go over to that log and then start to look like he's sitting down and then hold himself up like he's taking a crap for the next 5 minutes. Ever tried doing that? That's really uncomfortable. Imagine doing it while you're dead. So this is, believe it or not, this is not a new power. I'm sorry, but I'm getting really pissed at people like, oh, that's new. And I'm like, no, it's really not. So
They're made of the Force. The Force can move stuff.
Stuff. Yeah.
Yoda
There are
picked up
other
an
issues.
X-wing,
there
put
are
it over there.
there are other issues with the Rise of Skywalker,
Oh Lord.
but
Yeah.
that was not one of them. And I don't know. I guess I'm tired of people that are like, oh, you're dumb if you like it, and I'm like, no, let me enjoy it. I don't like feeling like I have to defend enjoying things. That starts to that the more that I have to feel that way, the more that makes me want to really go after the people that don't like it, even though they probably have legitimate reasons for not liking it. But don't make me feel like I have to justify liking something.
Yeah, let people like things. It's fun.
There you go.
Everyone walks out of the Star Wars ones with different perceptions.
Yeah. I walked
Yeah.
out of that one with 2 different ones. It's
Yeah.
like, as a in and of itself, separated from everything else, it's fine. I like it.
Yeah.
It's a good action movie. As it fits into Star Wars as a whole, I would like to file some complaints.
I would be right there with you, Mike.
I will take your
That's-
complaints, and I will file them where the sun doesn't shine. I mean, I'll give them all due respect.
So that's where the mushrooms are growing? Where
Yes,
the roaches hang out?
mushroom.
Why you gotta make me feel bad for not liking things, Brian?
Because I'm not allowed to not like it, so you're not allowed to not. Wait, what? No, okay. This is complicated. People have different opinions. No.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm a very big Star Wars person, and again, we've already had the discussion on this. It was a fun movie for me to watch because my favorite part from the original trilogy was watching the space battles. I love the special effects stuff, and the
Mhm.
movie did not disappoint. It was fun watching the space battles and all the action. But the part of me that's also a lore person who wants there to be some sort of continuation where everything sort of fits together, looked at the movie and thought, this is a god-awful mess.
It
Like,
does
this
have a
doesn't
little-
make sense at all.
if I have one complaint, it's that the whole scavenger hunt thing at the end feels a little forced. But
Get it? Oh wait, no, sorry.
oh, see, I just
Sorry, I'm sorry.
no, I didn't even.
I don't think you're
Uh,
sorry.
I am. I really am.
but see, now I just lost total. But
We broke him finally.
Yes.
to me, most of it felt like a love letter to Star Wars fans, and it had so many great moments that I was able to get caught up in those moments and gloss over everything else.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. It was sort of, and I think the way J.J. Abrams wanted, like his vision of it was it to be a retelling of the original trilogy with a lot of nostalgia in there to sort of help sew everything together.
And that's
And,
fine, but that leaves me feeling kind of cheated, you know, instead
Like,
of
you
getting to
want-
see
you
some
want
new
to-
Star Wars movies.
Yeah. Well,
the thing,
and there will be more of those, like with the is it the High Republic, the Low
yeah,
Republic,
that's the new
the
new,
medium
stuff that's
Republic.
coming out.
Yeah. They definitely, I think, chose with the sequels to try and play it a little safer, with the exception of The Last Jedi, to say, hey, look, we're Disney. We got this property, and we want you to know that these are going to feel like Star Wars. I remember coming out of The Force Awakens, and maybe two was there, maybe someone else, and I turned to them and I said, that actually felt like a Star Wars movie, because seeing the prequels didn't give me that feeling. It just didn't. They felt like something else. So it had that sense of like, oh, okay, you're giving us more of what we like. It may not be the most original thing, except for The Last Jedi. That was way out there. Which
But
some people
I
are
don't
on
know.
the way, and others.
The beginning of Force Awakens, like I see what you're saying, but like the beginning of Force Awakens, there was a point where I was sitting there feeling annoyed. I was like, am I really just sitting here watching A New Hope again?
Yeah.
I could have stayed home and done this for free with way better snacks.
Well, and that's, and
I
I know
prefer-
I'm
But
gonna
then
get
it picked up and started doing its own thing, and it was better. But I was actually annoyed at a certain point at the beginning.
Way
No, it's
cheaper
just
snacks,
protagonist.
not way better snacks.
I mean, I love movie theater popcorn.
I think they're
But
good.
no, I mean, it's just about a force sensitive orphan on a desert planet that comes across a droid with secret plans to something. I don't understand why you're making these comparisons. Come
yeah.
on, man. No.
I know I'll get flack for it and everything, but I actually got more out of the prequels than I did, I think, with the post trilogy.
Let
Let me defend my case on this.
Well, no, let me say this.
Okay.
You don't have to defend if that is how you feel. Much like
Yeah.
I was saying, I don't have to defend the fact that I like Rise of Skywalker. You do not have to defend it. If you want to explain
Yeah.
why you feel that way, that's fine.
Oh, it has nothing to do with the acting. The acting is awful. But if George Lucas had just said, "Here is all the stuff. Here's the dialogue. Here's this stuff. Here's my vision, everything," and sort of left, because again, the trilogy, he directed the first one. He did not edit the first A New Hope, and then two other directors actually directed it and did all their stuff. The thing about the prequels is they tell a really good story, because the first movie is, where did Anakin come from?
Mhm.
And it introduces you to, he's brought to the attention of people of power. The second one is his development, and you see how his personality is, and it introduces us to a conflict that's main purpose is to destroy the Jedi. And then you see the culmination of it and how the Jedi were destroyed and set the stage for the trilogy. The Revenge of the Sith is one of my favorite movies, because again, it has the space battle and all that, but it wraps everything up because again, the way it started is, okay, there's the Clone Wars, so the Clone Wars have to come to an end somehow. and B, the Jedi have to be wiped out in this, and it has to happen in one movie. How is George going to do this? Go. And he wrapped it up in an amazing way because again, how does the Republic become the Empire? Well, the Republic voted for there to be an empire.
So this is how
And-
liberty dies.
I cannot tell you how many, and that is an amazing line because I cannot tell you how many times I've seen people use that line. So this is how liberty dies with thunderous applause. I have seen so many people use that. So for whatever dialogue people give crap over the prequels, it amazes me how often people reference lines from it.
Mm-hmm.
And so it's the fall of the Jedi, it's the end of the Clone Wars. How do you kill all these Jedi so quickly? Well, the people they trust betray them not because they wanted to, because they were programmed to. And it just makes you just go, holy crap. And that's the part I loved about it. And that's, again, why I actually do like it. Not I don't like the prequels because of the acting, because like I said, it's god awful.
I think
What I
was
do
watching...
like is it has an original story that pieces things together, that explains why that galaxy is the way it is.
Yeah, it really does enrich the stories in 4, 5, and 6 because it gives you more context for
why there's
for what people are talking about, what people are doing, and what they're not saying. Like after you've seen Obi-Wan being, hiding stuff and not being completely honest about stuff. When he starts talking to Luke about his father, you're like, oh boy, here he goes again. And
from a certain point of view, and you're going, what do you mean a certain point of view? And then after seeing the movie, you're like, oh yeah, there was a little bit of that, wasn't there?
Mm-hmm. And then in the scenes with Darth Vader, there's something different there because you know what he's thinking about. Even if he's just standing there being menacing, you know what he's thinking about. You know what kind of look he has on his face when he's talking to someone about something. It's like I couldn't hear when he was force choking Mahdi in the conference room. Now I can see the smirk on his face when he's saying, I find your lack of faith disturbing. I couldn't see that smirk before because I didn't have enough context about how he came up.
So it's, yeah, and there's been a lot of fleshing out of the end of the Republic part, where you have the Clone Wars TV series, and the Star Wars Rebels and the comics and all that have done a lot to flesh out that period and all. And so I think all those have been great supplemental things that again give you context of what's going on and makes the characters even all the more awesome. And the for me, it probably is a lot that the post trilogy has not had a chance to truly flesh itself out to sort of clarify, but it does feel like there's been a little bit of inconsistency with some things because what little materials are out there have been inconsistencies. And I really do think that there needs to be a lot more love given to that part for things to be made more clear and for me to sort of reevaluate my thoughts on it. But yeah, I do think that they're good movies, but lore-wise, it's sort of the flip opposite. The prequels were terrible acting movies, but great for lore, whereas the post-trilogy is great acting, great scenes, but makes me scratch my head and go, oh my gosh, what is going on here? In terms of the lore.
I would actually disagree a little bit with the terrible acting because those are some very good actors doing the most with what they had. Yeah. Anyone that doesn't, I think I've said this before, anyone that doesn't think that Hayden Christensen is a good actor needs to see Life as a House because he's just fantastic. That George may have told a decent story with those, but his knack for dialogue
it's the dialogue, it's the lines.
Yeah. So I was watching The Last Jedi, and I'm not talking about not I was watching Revenge of the Sith, and I'm not talking about sometime later after I'd had a while to think about it. I'm like, oh wait, that's not as good as I remembered. I mean, like on opening night, and somebody is saying something to someone else, and it took me so far out of it that I'm like, that is not how people talk. That is not how people talk, like at all. Like at all. Have you heard people talk? Because that's not how they do it. It took me so out of it. The prequels had some good things about them. Some of the lightsaber duels were so well done. Anybody that says, "Oh, you need to skip the Phantom Menace and do the lawnmower strategy or whatever it's called, the lawnmower order or something," and where he
I
basically
think it's the machete order.
the machete order. Thank you. Whatever.
Cut it down to what it needs to be. That's the order.
And skip the Phantom Menace, you're really missing out on something special. So I'm not saying that, and I do think
I think the approach you took with showing them to Samantha was very interesting. Because you felt Revenge of the Sith was too intense. Yeah. You left that out, so then the reveal, then Darth Vader's reveal, is still a surprise.
It was kind of, she spent a lot of A New Hope being like, "Where's Anakin? Where's Amidala?" And I'm like, "Oh, well, this is later, so you'll find out." She, "Oh, okay, this is Luke. He has last name. Okay, and he's here and he's not with his family." I'm like, "Yep." But at that point, she had seen what's the middle one? The Attack of the Clones. Where the clones don't attack until the end. Yeah, she'd seen that one, so she knew. Beru and Lars a little bit. She said, "Oh, I recognize them." So, but then when the reveal came, she was like, "What?" And it was one of those things that you're always like, "Yeah, awesome." So, yeah. So prequels were okay. They had some good elements to them. I still think I like some of the sequel movies better than most of the prequel movies, but I don't think there's a single movie in the series that I just hate. I'm like, wow, this is just terrible for me and for the series and whatever, that I don't find something good with and that I didn't enjoy. And again, take me just back where we started. I'm sorry, but if you were watching Rise of Skywalker and there wasn't a single moment that just took your breath away the first time you saw it, then you're dead inside. Maybe just a little bit. Not the whole thing, but again, a good moment.
Thank you for that last little in our ear there.
You're welcome.
I don't know how we got onto Star Wars. I feel like it was my fault, and I should apologize for that.
No, it was Dirk, because we're talking about things being disappointed, and Dirk said, "Well, and before he said it, I'm like, please don't say Rise of Skywalker." And he's like, "This was like when I saw," and I'm like, "All right, so we're gonna do this now." So
You're welcome.
I don't think anyone thanked you, but it was a good discussion.